Hey everybody, welcome to another chapter of game version differences. The game I have here today is called Terror of the Catacombs, and this is a follow-up to my previous video on Curse of the Catacombs, another game in the same series. Now both of these games were follow-ups to Catacombs 3D, which was created by id Software before they made Wolfenstein 3D and obviously before Doom as well. These games were not made by id, they're made by Softdisk Publishing, but they're in the same series. And if you look at the screenshots on the back of the box, you can basically see there's another first-person shooter. I happen to really like these games a lot. This is more of a fantasy style as opposed to Doom, which is more horror. So if you like Heretic, for example, which is also more of a fantasy theme, you might like this game as well, or the games in this series, rather. The screenshot at the top here shows your evil nemesis, who is actually called Nemesis, so not that creative, but whatever, it's cool. So this is the back of the box, and again, here's the front of the boxes. And this one is a little bit unusual in terms of what actually they changed, but obviously they changed the front of the box here quite a bit. The one on the left here is black, the one on the right here is reddish and black. And just from looking at the cover, my initial reaction is that the one on the left here is probably the original release. And why do I say that? Because if you look at the one on the left here, so this is supposed to be you, the main character, right over here. And it's sort of busy. There's a lot of stuff going on here in this picture. It's sort of dark, too. There's a treasure chest. There's a bunch of different monsters. It's sort of hard to see what's going on. You got to look pretty closely to even see that you're in the picture. This one here is the same shot, but much more zoomed in. And also it looks like they made it brighter at the same time. Like, for example, this monster on the left here looks brighter than, to me at least, than it did over here. I mean, the left side of his arm is bright here too, but I think they brightened it up more for this side. So my guess is that they took this picture first, they had this as the cover, and then at some point they were like, it's too dark, it's too drab, it's too cluttered. Let's just zoom in on this guy, make it a little bit brighter. He looks super cool in the picture with casting the spells out of his hands. You know, we show still a couple of monsters here. We got the essence of it. We don't need everything that was in this shot. That's my assumption. Aside from that, I mean, it's much easier to take a picture like this and to crop stuff out of it than it is to take something like this and blow it up and add a bunch of additional detail. So this must have been the original artwork, and probably for that reason, it's also the original box. We don't have the same thing in this video like we had the other with 3D. The 3D is written the same. It's not like with a dash or without a dash like we had before. And you look at the back of the box, it's actually 100% the same. In fact, the whole bottom cover of the box seems exactly the same. It looks like the only thing they actually changed out is the top cover. The bottom is just white around the sides, and then it's exactly the same as what we have here. So let me go ahead and open both of them and see the contents. So they both come with a Frogman temporary tattoo, which are pretty much the same. This one on the left has ingredients for it, but this one probably had it too. It just got worn out or came off. This one has a 3.5-inch disc. This one on the left doesn't. It looks like it was supposed to have a 3.5-inch disc. On the side of the box it says dual media. So it looks like the 3.5-inch disc was just lost. They both have two 5.25-inch discs that look exactly the same. The manuals look pretty much the same, except for the fact that this one is white and this one is beige, but they both feel the same. They both are sort of the same type of poor quality newsprint-like scan of the front cover. If you sort of zoom in detail here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's very grainy. It looks like sort of it was photocopied and put on here. But aside from the different colors are the same, and I suspect that they actually both were white, and this one just got dirty or something over time, or got some, I don't know, some soot on it or something like that. One of the reasons I say that is because if you open it up, the first page here, you see this one's white, and this one here is also sort of white, but it looks a little bit more off-white, a little bit maybe dirtier. And I suspect that this was originally the same, and this one just got a little beat up. The back is also sort of tannish, but maybe not as much as the front cover is. I mean, it's the same. But in any case, aside from that, this word for word appears to be the exact same manual. There's no difference whatsoever that I was able to tell. So what does that tell us? Well, nothing in and of itself. However, I think the fact that both of these manuals have the same cover as this box over here is indicative that this was probably the original. They probably had this as the manual to reflect the cover of the box. And then when they went ahead and changed the cover of the box, they didn't go ahead and also change the manual to compensate. So this one here on the right, even though we have the cover that's different, the manual for it still looks the same as it did before. So that's my theory, at least. The other stuff that comes in here is just basically, this one has nothing else on the right. The one on the left came with a registration card, and it also came with an ad for expert software. I think we've seen this before. I know this is soft disk. I'm sorry. I made the same mistake in the last one. And then expert software catalog, which I think this is probably similar to the one that was in the Curse of the Catacombs. So that's basically it. Again, pretty much all the contents are the same. I'm assuming this one also had the registration card and catalogs, or it got lost. Or maybe it didn't because it was a later release. They left some of that stuff out. But again, I am pretty sure that this is a later release just based on the logic that I went through in this video. If anybody knows one way or the other, though, can confirm or deny, or has any other thoughts, I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments. Until then, though, hope that this was interesting, and have a good day, everybody.